Welcome to our Heavenly Candidates Daily Devotion.
Our Bible reading for today is taken from the book of Isaiah chapter 5 verse 14. Therefore, death expands its jaws, opening wide its mouth. Into it will descend their nobles and masses with all their brawlers and revelers.
In the depths of biblical teachings, there are verses that speak of how fearful and dreadful hell is. These verses paint a vivid picture of a realm devoid of mercy and compassion, where darkness and torment prevail. The verses in Isaiah chapter 5 verse 14, Matthew chapter 25 verse 41, and Matthew chapter 7 verses 13 to 14, bring to light the haunting reality of this place known as hell. With profound significance, they serve as warnings, urging us to reflect on the consequences of our actions and choices. Isaiah chapter 5 verse 14 portrays the depths of hell, stating, "Therefore, death expands its jaws, opening wide its mouth, into it will descend their nobles and masses with all their brawlers and revelers." This verse speaks of the insatiable hunger of Sheol, the abode of the dead, as it swallows up everything in its path. It is a place where the pomp and revelry of Jerusalem, once full of life, are reduced to nothingness. Here, there is no room for joy or celebration, only an eternal descent into darkness. In Matthew chapter 25 verse 41, Jesus himself warns of the fate awaiting those who have not lived according to the will of God, or shown kindness and compassion towards others. He says, "Then he will say to those on his left, 'Depart from me, you cursed, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his angels.'" These words emphasize the gravity of our actions, and the importance of empathy and love. Those who choose to neglect the needs of others will face an eternal fire, a punishment prepared for the forces of evil. It is a stern reminder that the absence of mercy and benevolence leads to dire consequences. Matthew chapter 7 verses 13 to 14 further illustrates the stark contrast between the narrow gate that leads to life and the wide gate that leads to destruction. Jesus cautions, "Enter by the narrow gate. For the gate is wide, and the way is easy that leads to destruction, and those who enter by it are many. For the gate is narrow, and the way is hard that leads to life, and those who find it are few." These verses emphasize the importance of making conscientious choices in our lives. The easy path may be enticing, but it ultimately leads to destruction. Conversely, the narrow path, though more challenging, leads to life and salvation. It is a call to choose wisely, and not succumb to the temptations that divert us from the path of righteousness. The title of today's devotion, "Hell Has No Mercy," encapsulates the overarching message of these verses. It serves as a stark reminder that the consequences of our actions are real, and that there is a place where mercy is absent. Hell, as described in the Bible, is a realm of eternal suffering, where the unkind, the negligent, and the lost find themselves trapped. It is a place devoid of any respite or compassion. However, these verses are not intended to instill fear. They also serve as a wake-up call, urging us to examine our lives and the choices we make. They implore us to cultivate kindness, empathy, and love towards our fellow human beings, and obey God's will. By doing so, we align ourselves with the narrow path that leads to life and salvation. Ultimately, the message conveyed by Isaiah chapter 5 verse 14, Matthew chapter 25 verse 41, and Matthew chapter 7 verses 13 to 14, is a profound one. It highlights the importance of compassion, warns against disobedience to God's will, neglecting the needs of others, and calls for a deliberate and conscientious approach to life. Hell may indeed have no mercy, but through understanding and practicing the virtues taught in the Bible, we can aspire to a life that transcends the darkness and finds solace in the boundless love and grace of God. God bless you for listening to our daily devotion today. Please join us to spread the good news of our Lord Jesus Christ by sharing, commenting, like the video, and subscribe. Please follow Heavenly Candidates on our YouTube channel and Facebook. God bless you all, and we meet again tomorrow if Jesus tarries.